Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Mamma mia. Press conference, Juventus Sevilla Europa League. Important one. I made a video this morning, I told you how important the game was. Of course, you are not all able to have already watched the video, because the video was set up, I believe, 1 hour ago. So I totally understand that it's a bit early for you to have watched the video, but in that video I was not speaking that much about Juventus Sevilla semi-final of Europa League for one reason, because I was waiting for the press conference of Max Allegri. When I was recording this morning, I didn't know who would be joining Max Allegri. You know that these press conferences are always a bit longer. It's Angel Di Maria, La Juve e La Juve, that will be next to him. As usual, they first start with the player. Surely he will speak in Spanish. So it will be a translation from Spanish to English, and then Max Allegri from Italian to English. But we will do it together, and the nice thing, of course, is always that we try to understand what is going on preparing the game of Sevilla. It's an important one. We already said also the press conference. You know, the difference is there are a few differences between the press conference in Serie A and in European competition. In Serie A, you have only the coach, you have Italian journalists. It's like 15-20 minutes where they love to speak about everything except of the field. They never speak about the field, except of how do you think that the opponent will be, one question, and then they speak about the injuries. Are they ready? And if they can speak about controversy, they go all in. In the European one, you have already two, and both of them are longer, so sometimes you can even go towards 40 minutes of press conference. They are sometimes interesting topics that are coming to the foreground. Why? Because you have journalists not only from Italy, but also international, and they don't care about off the field. They want to know on the field what is going on. And that's what we will try to do with all the expression, facial expression, the non-verbal that will be used from Max Allegri and so on and so on. I will already go on Juventus TV. Yes, here we go, so that we are sure that we don't miss the start of it, because that's an important one. Let me see how many people we already have on the channel. 52. I was not expecting it, so I'm really happy. Thank you, guys. Juventino MC was the first one in USA to wake up and to say ciao Beppe, ciao to TR, grande, Miguel Lopez, Martin Mostafavi, we have Thomas Makluf, ciao grande, ciao from the train. Well, you will have to wait a bit, because the press conference start at 2:15, it's 2:08, so it's starting in 7-8 minutes if they are on time. Ciao Eli, ciao Wafi, ciao Thomas Makluf. Again, I was still watching the morning video, you see? And then you had the go live notification gang for Jim as well. Softic, Softic, you know that I was thinking about you, because I saw a lot of your comments speaking about all the rumors about Italian journalists and so on and so on. But you didn't speak about Brighton. Why? What is happening? No, I was waiting for De Zerbi comment. Nothing. I was a bit sad. What happened? I don't remember. I didn't see. What is the score of the last game of Brighton? I believe from Monday. I didn't pay attention. What was the score? Can someone help me? No, because there is Softic. Maybe he forgot to tell me. Waiting. I'm waiting for the result. Nobody knows. 5-1. 5-1. They won 5-1 against Everton. Beautiful win, huh? Beautiful win from Brighton. The derby, 5-1 in Premier League. It's not easy, huh? It's really not easy. So congratulations to Brighton. 5-1 versus Everton. They lost. That's why Softic didn't speak about him. Of course, I already knew. No, because I know. I always pay attention to what Brighton and De Zerbi are doing, and I know when De Zerbi is not winning, nobody is speaking. Nobody is speaking about De Zerbi. When he's winning, attention, then the things are changing. Anyway, Allegri managed to get the result against Napoli. But Allegri lost against Napoli, the one that won the Scudetto, the best football in Europe. My friends from IFTV, they even said, is that the best Italian team ever on the world of the history of football? You lose 5-1. can happen. Everton, guys, we're speaking about Everton. What is the ranking of Everton? I don't know. Anyway, we are not here to speak about that, but I thought it was really funny. Look who's there today. Today, hey, hello to my friends from Melbourne. I don't know if they are already watching the video or not, but my friends of Melbourne, thank you. Today I need it. San Buffon, Saint Buffon, because we are playing Europa League, and we know that European competition for Juventus not always we have the best scenarios. Why is it important to win that game? Well, it's maybe the last time that we are playing in a Europa League for a one season, maybe 2 seasons. So maybe 23-24, 24-25. Now I'm smiling, I'm joking with you guys, but it's serious, huh? We don't know. We don't know. If I'm looking a bit about off-the-field topics, looks like they don't really want to see Juventus in European competition. So we have to enjoy that one. If I told you when we were down from Champions League that I absolutely didn't imagine Juventus winning Europa League, look, we are 4 teams now, huh? 4 teams. And if Juventus is able to not commit the same stupid lineup from Massimiliano Allegri and behavior of the team on the pitch against Inter, because we saw it, return of a semi-final against Inter was a total disaster, do we have chances? Look, guys, I will put you here. Favorite to win the UEFA Europa League. Is it Juventus? Is it Sevilla? But I want honest opinion, not biased opinions. Leverkusen, or is it Roma? Okay, so you have, it's a 25% for everyone, huh? Ciao Antonio. We need that keeper again. Well, you never know, huh? Next year, maybe if we are not playing any competition, just Serie A and Coppa Italia, who knows? Buffon can come back as second goalkeeper of Perin. Ciao Stavros. Raven, 2006 again. Hard to think about a game when 17 years old. Soft. John Elken acting same. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't really know. We have to pay attention, of course. But I think that they fooled Juventus again. Huh? You know, the perception inside of Juve is that whatever we are doing, whatever lawyer that we are hiring, whatever project, how hard we are working, looks like they don't care at all. We defended ourselves on 9 different points. We were able to postpone it, to put it on Federal Court of Appeal. And at the moment, well, no rules were broken. There is no existing rules about plusvalenza, but anyway, they said it is what it is. That's what they said, huh? And looks like we all know since the beginning, if Juventus doesn't say goodbye to the project of Super League A22, and all what happened looks like it's over. They want to punish Juventus, and at the moment they are succeeding in it. I was totally against finding a deal, but you know that they can go really hard. Huh? But anyway, that's something for later. That's something for later. But that's why the importance of the competition is really high and crucial. Juventus already have some problem with European competition pressure. You know, when I speak with my son, and sometimes he's asking me why is Real winning so much the Champions League? Well, it's super easy because they. How can I say? I need to pay attention to the words, but they don't really care. They don't have that pressure because if they really lose a final, well, they lose a final. It's really a pity. It's annoying. It's sad. It makes you angry, but you already won last year. You know how to win. You have that psychological thing in your mind that you are sleeping at night. You can sleep. You can rest. While Juventus is so obsessed to win in Europe that the pressure is super high. And the players that are telling you we are just walking in the corridor while everyone needs to sleep. We are awake because we are only thinking about that final, what happened in Cardiff, what happened in Berlin. So on top of that, if you put the stress that you are nearly obliged to win to hope maybe to go in Champions League, at least on the field, because you don't know how many points they will take away from you in Serie A, then the pressure goes really, really, really high for every team in the world, but now especially for Juve. I will already put my headphones on, guys, because the press conference should start in any minute now. So let me put it on. So that we can listen to the words. Okay, I have the sound on, which is great, because without sound, we cannot do a lot of things. What are you seeing in terms of poll at the moment? 59% still Juventus, but we are a Juve channel, so it makes sense that you are voting for Juve. 29% still Sevilla. That's a lot, huh? On a Juve channel, having 29-30% of the people that are voting Sevilla. But it makes also sense, because if I'm not wrong, they won the competition already 6 times. Leverkusen 3%, 10% for Roma, with the experience of winning a trophy in Conference League last year of Mourinho. With a lot of voices of Mourinho going away from Roma because it's not satisfied, he did what he had to do. We have to pay attention to that. Cyril, for me, they are all at 25%, but I voted for Sevilla because they are the king of UEFA Europa League. Plus, remember what happened versus Manchester United. Yes, indeed. Skyter, this is outrageous and unfair. If you are going to punish us, why not Barcelona and Madrid? Well, they are trying with Barcelona. The difference is that Laporta, the president of Barcelona, he went to Ceferin to ask for forgiveness, and I don't know what kind of strange deal they made. But you know, one of the requests of Ceferin to say, we close an eye and we forgive you, is to go on your knee, to bend the knee towards Ceferin and UEFA, which I would not do personally. I can understand a deal, but bending the knee, no. But that's again another story that we have to speak about. We should have some pressure not going to the final. Inter versus Milan, guys. I tell you something that I don't want to tell, but my big prediction is that Inter will win the final trophy. I believe that it will be Inter-Manchester City. Manchester City will have that pressure because they will believe also that it's now or never, that they made the most difficult thing in eliminated Real Madrid, and it will be Inter that will win. I know, you don't want to hear these kind of things on a Juve channel. I hope it doesn't happen, of course. It's the one that I really don't want to see winning. First, I would love Real Madrid. Then, if I'm obliged, I go with City. Third, Milan, if really I have to choose for an Italian one. And fourth, Inter. But the feeling at the moment, I believe that Inter will win. So I can't give you a score. Also because it's not really important, the game of today. It's important if someone is taking really the lead. Otherwise, it makes not really a difference. What is really making the difference is the return game. Look at yesterday, Real Madrid against City, 1-1. Everything is open, especially because you don't count anymore the away goal. I'm waiting for Max and Di Maria to start. At the moment, we are just waiting for them. They are here. They are not yet in press conference. So from the moment that they are there, of course, I will stop reading your comments and I will start translating. But first of all, they need to arrive. Mamma mia, look at that. Steve with a shirt. Steve with a shirt. Fantastic shirt, Steve. Fantastic shirt. Yeah, I would love to start, but I'm waiting, They're a bit late. Okay, who can give me a creative thought? Why are they late? Who can tell me a reason, a creative reason why they are late? 64% Juve going through. I'm happy with that one. So give me your thoughts. Who will win or why they are late? Beppe, speaking of Roma, Mourinho to Paris Saint-Germain is done. Don't know. That the voices are there, yes. Yusef, no Beppe, bite your tongue. Guys, Acerbi versus Holland. Acerbi. Look, Rugani versus, who was it? Zapata. Rugani, Zapata, everyone was saying, At the end, look what happened. Zapata in the pocket, You never know. Again, I will hope and pray that they lose, but I'm scared. One game, guys. One game. One game is one game. I don't know when we will try to put that in our mind. That one game, everything can happen. Not always the strongest one is winning. Yesterday, the ball of Real Madrid was out of the field. They close an eye and they go through. If Inter wins, we will hear it about but they are still speaking about we never went in Serie B and that they won the triplete. If they do it, yeah, of course, but it makes sense. If we would have won it, we would have done exactly the same. So no, I have no problem with that. I have problem with other things with that, no, but hopefully they don't. Apex, ciao Beppe, hope all the Juventini are doing a great day. Having this horrible feeling that Inter... you see, Softic and myself, we have the same feeling. And it's making me sick. Same as me. Had espresso, so on the toilet. Ciao Giuseppe. Grande. Ciao Anthony. Vali Bodeman. Atalanta game still not finished. By the way, just to give you a heads up, we are at 25,094 Juventini on the channel. We missed 6 to go on another because we are now road to 30,000 Juventini on the channel. Not bad, Not bad. When are we starting? Dai, Max. Now it's already long, Now it's really long. Oh, I can understand a bit being late, but now it's 6 minutes. 6 minutes of being late. The one that subscribed, they decided to go away. It is what it is. Ciao Bobo. Inter versus Manchester City will be a clash of titans in the midfield. The players with the qualities like Zidane and De Bruyne. Who is Zidane? Guys, wait. De Bruyne is De Bruyne at Manchester City. Zidane, I don't know. Zlatko, it is Manchester City year. Hopefully better than Inter. Max and Angel are playing rock, paper, scissors on what the answers they predicted question. Can be. I only fear Mourinho in a final. Other than that, we can win the competition, Beppe. Stomach problems. Problem is Juventus are too cautious, so they can't win more than one goal at home, probably. It's a good theory, It's a good theory. It's a really good one. 1-0 is not enough versus Sevilla. Would be already a beautiful result, of course, but better winning 1-0 than losing 1-0, especially when you are playing at home. The problem, what I don't like with Max Allegri most of the time when he's managing competitions like that in a 2-game, is that he's thinking and overthinking too much, and he's thinking too much in 180 minutes. Something that you can do probably when you have a fantastic team like yesterday, Ancelotti, and also Pep Guardiola at a certain moment, he said, you know what, I don't care. Let's go and think and focus about the 180 minutes. Makes sense. When your team is less great and you know that mentally you are a bit fragile, going in the stadium of Sevilla, that are ultra confident about that competition, would really be a risk. I hope that we can start the game as we did versus Atalanta. It was away. It was a must-game win in Serie A before they took away again some points that we still don't know how many. Now it's not important anymore that we have won against Atalanta, except for our confidence moral before the game of Sevilla. But hopefully we can do the same. Because if we are thinking, and I believe that would be the big mistake, on 180 minutes, and not 180 minutes, let's win, and then we go with 90 other minutes. No, if you're thinking at 180 minutes, managing the first game to leave it open for the next one can be a real problem. I really believe that it can be a problem. Guys, at the moment, they didn't start yet. Let me check maybe on another, in another way. Wait, No. They're still not there. They're still not there, guys. We wait, obviously we wait, but they are here. I see them. You can't see them, but I see them, so that's a great one. Good morning, everyone. Nirai. Thank you, Nirai, for the beautiful donation. I see them here, so I will put the sound on. Nirai with a beautiful donation. Sevilla getting crushed like bitter oranges. Hopefully, that would be really beautiful. Thank you, Nirai, with a nice, really beautiful donation. So I put the sounds on. We start with the questions for Angel Di Maria. The question from journalist. Can you tell us how you are feeling? How the team is feeling? We are doing well. Wait, because now I have also the simultaneous translation from the Italian journalist. Let me take that away. I prefer to have, like his words in Spanish instead of I prefer to listen to, like the original language of Angel Di Maria. I'm sorry. I start again, guys. So, how are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Angel Di Maria, the answer. So, we start again. The truth is that the team is doing well. We are coming from an important win against Atalanta that is giving us a plus extra for what is coming, a really great confidence. We did the training and the team is doing well, and that's really important. I did the training and I feel also really well. Agresti. How is your relation with Mr. Allegri? Because you have been coached by really great coaches in your career. How is your relation with him, and what are you taking away from that experience? I have been coached indeed by great coaches, and also now with Max Allegri, exceptional coaches that made us work a lot in different ways. Of course, you have to adapt yourself because every coach is different. And then step by step, I started to grow. And I show it also in these last months that adapting myself and starting to adapt also to the way the coach was asking me things that other ones were not asking me myself. I was starting to improve and also show my qualities also here. Giovanni Albalese. Europa League is the only trophy that you didn't win in international level. What is the spirit? How are you approaching that competition? And do you see yourself also with the shirt of Juve for a long time? So he's asking about renewal. It's a competition that I played only one time with Benfica. This is the second time that I'm able to play it. It's the one that I am missing. I am 100% concentrated to win that trophy with this team because it's also important for me. As I always say, even if I am now a world champion because I won the World Cup, for me, every single trophy is important. And hopefully I can win this one. And for the other question, what you asked me about the renewal, we are speaking with the management. And I believe that a lot of you already know it, that we are talking. You have good information. But now my brain, my mind is focused on the game of Sevilla and what is remaining on the rest of the games. And for the rest, we will see. Hey guys, that was a funny one. Huh? I just pressed pause because it's actually confirming that The journalists, they have really great sources. They know that he's already talking with the management. Other question for Angel Di Maria. But the journalist is just asking exactly the same question. Mamma mia, the journalists are making me crazy. The question of the third or the fourth journalist now is, okay, Angel Di Maria, my question is your priority to remain at Juventus next year? They just asked it. Okay, let's see what he will answer. Angel Di Maria, I already said it so many times, and I will repeat. I am super happy and here in this team and my family as well. And we are speaking with the team. But as I just said to your colleague, my mind is now on the remaining game of Serie A, on Europa League. And what will happen, of course, we will see after that the season is over. But I don't understand. Well, you guys, you have studied for journalists. If the question has already been asked, why are you asking exactly the same question? You have one question. You have one question. Anyway, we go. Corriere dello Sport. Are you satisfied about your season, and what are your objectives until the end of the season? Of course, it has been a difficult start of the season for me as well, because I had different injuries. And I was running to become, again, 100%, to show to the people what I was worth. But then it started to be better. I started also to be more confident, also to understand more the work of the coach. And I started also to become better in my performances. That was important for me. And now the important thing is trying to win Europa League. To give also joy. To give also joy to the supporters that are always supporting us. And trying also to arrive in the top 4. Better if we can finish top 2. To finish the season in the best way possible. Again, a question nearly the same. If Juventus can win or remain, because of course influenced by of the field topic that we don't know the answer, but if Juventus remains in European competition, can you remain at Juventus? Can you remain at Juventus, or do you take another decision if Juventus is not? So they are asking actually for the third time the same question. Let's see what Angel will answer. He said, no. What happens off the field doesn't change anything. Champions or no champions, for me it's exactly the same. I already said it different times. Of course, what happens with the points of the field, we, as players from the team, we are just keeping our mind on the field. We are thinking, because on the field that we are second, and we know how many points we have to do to remain there. But for all the matters of the field, there are some managers that are taking care about. We need to think and continue to think with the coach and with us players as a team to continue to think about winning points on the field. and trying to go with all the objectives that we have. Guys, beautiful things of Angel Di Maria. And now I will go a bit against the words of Angel Di Maria. I really believe that he, in a way, he is sincere. Saying Champions League or not doesn't matter. It doesn't change. Because you remember before joining Juve, he always said, my family is important in taking the decision. So I believe that it's an honest person. But what do you think he will say? The day before Sevilla, he will say in front of the microphones, if Juventus is not in Champions League, I am going away. He just told you 2 times in a row, like 2 minutes up front, that he's talking with the management, and at the end of the season, they will take a decision together. So again, I'm really, really perplexed. I don't understand, but we will come back on that. Let's continue. Question. This evening there will be Milan-Inter in semi-final of Champions League. Thinking about it, will there be a bit of regrets? Knowing that these 2 teams are behind you in the ranking of Serie A. The face of Angel Di Maria. So I'm doing the face of Angel Di Maria after that question. He says, no, for me it's the same. What is happening with Inter or with Milan, I don't care about. I don't care at all about it. I'm thinking about Juventus, only about our games and nothing else. Calcio News. With your experience, with all the games that you play, with the trophies that you won, you have a kind of thermometer to take a bit the pulse, to understand a bit how the team is before that game. Well, is this team ready, according to you, in terms of experience, for a big competition? Not only this one, but also for the future. Is the team mature for a bigger competition, that it can be winning the Europa League this year, but also next year participating in bigger competitions? Di Maria, yes, I believe that they have a good brain, a good head on the good shoulders to be in this competition, but also to play in a competition like Champions League. I believe that we have a lot of players with a lot of qualities. I believe that they have a lot of qualities, like also being aggressive, etc., etc. And I believe that these skills are also a consequence of the work of Mr. Allegri, that gave a lot of minutes to the youth, because they are improving, they are growing, and they are winning in confidence that you need to play these kind of games. I really believe that the important is giving them minutes, so that they have the confidence to play these games. A game like the one of tomorrow against Sevilla. It can be a big change also in their life, because if you are able to play a final of a European competition like the Europa League, or winning that competition, for the young players, it can be a real big experience, a unique experience. And I believe that also that experience for them in the future can also give them more confidence for the future if you are playing again this kind of competition. The question was not bad. I like that. And the answer was really great. Last 2 questions for Di Maria before going to Max Allegri. Attenzione, Fabiana Della Valle. Let's see if she will... she will find someone that fought with Allegri or whatever. Except of the injuries in the beginning. She's starting. Guys, I'm sorry. I can't just go and blindly go through it. She's starting with, except of the small injuries of the beginning, you had some moments of difficulties to adapt also to Allegri. So again, she's on Allegri. Always on Allegri. What are the differences that you found in Italian football and at Juventus respecting to the other team that you played? I believe it's easy. Italian football is more tactic. You also have to pay attention to defend more. We are not playing with so much ball possession. You have counter-attack. Of course, there was Napoli that played a different way of play and a different style. But more or less, all the team are playing the same way. I have been 7 years at Paris Saint-Germain, and we have always played the same way in keeping 70% of the ball. That has been a bit difficult for me in the beginning because I was not really used for counterattacks and so on. So in the beginning, I had difficulties to adapt, but I tried, I played, and I was improving in the way of playing in Italy. And every game is helping you to grow. And I'm 35 years and I'm happy to say that every year I am improving. I am learning new ways, new things. And this year I have learned something new. And I believe that was super important also for me. Last question. Ciao, bye. So they're speaking about the rumors about a team that has not been united and so on and so on and so on. Can he explain a bit? And he said, guys, you saw it, especially in the beginning of the training today, how united the team is, how happy the team is, that the team is doing well. What people are saying outside of us, it's not important for us. We are thinking about ourselves, continuing to work as we did. We know that we have a lot of things against us, that there were a lot of things against us this year, but we have to continue. I am happy here. My family is happy here. I found a spectacular team and group with people that I didn't know. I was really surprised about the class of person that are at Juventus. And this gives me a lot of confidence about Juventus as a group. Look, guys, it was a bit confusing, but at the end, he spoke really well about the people side of Juve, about the group, about the people that are working also behind the scene. You know, that I know a lot of people also at Juventus, and I can only confirm the words of Angel Di Maria, things that not always everyone is able to see, because of course we know the players, we know the coach, not really from a people way of knowing them, but from their performance of the field. But he was speaking about the human side, about the class, about the professionality, and all these things at Juventus, which was really beautiful. Now we go to Max Allegri, and then we will do a recap, of course. Max Allegri. Max, it's a semi-final of Europa League against a team that won 4 times Europa League, 2 times Coppa UEFA. So they are really used to play these kind of games. They are really expert. It's a team that is always in the game. They are never going out of the game. Tomorrow will be a beautiful game, an important game, as the return game will be. Mediaset. Important question. I'm listening and then we'll translate all the question. Okay, important question from Gianni Balzarini. I repeat, guys, and Gianni Balzarini from Mediaset has always been good friend with Max Allegri. Every time that Gianni Balzarini is asking a question, Allegri is smiling a bit. Let's see. Okay, the question is really interesting. He said, from the moment that you heard about the motivation of the Coni, about the potential of losing points, what was your first reaction, your way of thinking? Was it now we go all in Europa League, because anyway they will take us away some points, or are we still continuing to think about every single game and competition until the end of the season, because the minus 15 will be deducted, so it will be or a minus 12, 13, 11, minus 9, minus 6, we don't know. Let's listen to the words of Max Allegri. Only all in Europa League or every single game? I think that the answer is logic, but let's see and listen. Max, I have no idea what will happen. I don't know what will happen in the future, but anyway, we built, especially this season, a shield on our back that is so huge, because one day it's this, one day it's that, one day it's that attack from the outside world, the other day it's another attack from the outside world, one day it's white, then it's black, then it's yellow, then it's green, then it's red, then everyone is speaking, everyone knows everything. So also from that experience, we go out of it stronger than before. We have these two games of Europa League plus 4 in Serie A. On the field, we have to do the best. What does that mean? Arriving or trying to arrive to the final of Europa League. And that's the next step. And then, of course, as we deserved on the field to be second, we have to keep it. So we have to work on that. Then on the 4th of June, when the Serie A will be over, when we have done what we had to do, that means on the field, having the points, trying to finish second if possibly, because that's what the ranking is saying today, we have done what we had to do as a team. Giovanni Albanese. How did you see Kostic? Can Kostic start from tomorrow? Max, all the team is doing well. Yesterday we did a beautiful training. Also tomorrow, for me, it will be difficult in the choices. The one that entered on Sunday, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they did really give a big support to the teammates. Vlahovic scored on the assist of Chiesa. They were immediately at disposal. Tomorrow will be exactly the same. The one that start, but also the one that are on the bench. That bench that will be even more important. Because tomorrow, it can be at a certain moment that the game is decisive. Some people are able to play 60 minutes, other one 30. Important is that the moment that they are playing, the minutes that they are playing, that they are decisive. What behavior do we need to put tomorrow on the field? Answer from Max, we need the behavior that we put on Sunday against Atalanta, but also the one that we have put against Lecce and also against Bologna. Knowing, being aware that it's a team, Sevilla, that won a lot and that we have to respect them. Guys, he's also speaking about Bologna. If you are watching my post-game analysis, especially Bologna, where we did 1-1, I had really difficulty to analyze Bologna. Do you remember? I said it's difficult for me because it's a 1-1 and normally we should be really angry, and I am angry because we didn't win. But the behavior of Juventus, that offensive behavior, was totally changing versus all the other games that we played in the month of April. And Bologna, that was the last game of April, gave me a confidence that if we continue like that, well, it could have changed something in the way of playing. And it was confirmed versus Lecce, where people said, Lecce is Lecce, we don't care. But also confirmed versus Atalanta, where the first 20 minutes Juventus is playing. We defend 25 minutes in the first half, and then we go back in the second half trying to attack, trying to play football until we score. Then, of course, you have an Atalanta that is attacking a bit. So tomorrow, it's not excluded that Juventus is going up and tries to do something. Roberto Mauro, question. In the last days, did you had the opportunity to speak with Vlahovic? And also mentally, do you think that he was suffering in the next few days for what happened in Bergamo in the stadium of Atalanta? Honestly, I didn't speak with Vlahovic about that. As I always said, for the guys, it's really hard when they are insulted with forms of racism. But it would be good for the players to have the strength to ignore the outside racist chants, the whistles, the insults, and so on. Because the people that need to take care of it, they need to punish it. They need to punish these people. And he says, I totally understand that you feel it, that it's hard when you are insulted, guys. Max Allegri, even if it's not racism, he can speak about it every game. I was at games where at a certain moment, you know it, there is no ambiance, no atmosphere, and then you hear people saying the worst things. So that's what he's saying. Trying to find the energy as a player to ignore it, but the people outside, they need to hear and they need to punish. Fabiane Della Valle. Is it a game of a 3-man or a 4-man defense tomorrow? Max Allegri. It's difficult for us to defend with 3 men because that means that we are conceding goals. We have to defend in 10, even in 11, when there is to defend. So tomorrow we have to prepare the best we can, understanding what they are strong in, and trying to beat them on their weaknesses, but it will be a difficult game because it's a semi-final. Allegri is not watching Fabiana when he's speaking. They have really problem. Like BT saying here. But Ayman, pay attention, because you have to understand also the language of football. When he's saying you have to defend with 11, it's an answer about the sacrifice that the team needs to do in a semi-final of Champions League. It's not you defend with 3, it's not you defend with 4. It's more telling the team needs to be there to be able to sacrifice. And if needed to defend, well, you have to defend in 11, which yesterday, if you understand a bit about football, Real Madrid was doing in the part where they had to defend. You remember the first 20 minutes of the game with the Manchester City in total full ball possession with, I believe, if I'm not wrong, 250 passes already done, while Real Madrid had like 70 passes. Ball possession was totally crazy with a 75% Manchester City, and then you see all the Real Madrid players behind the ball. At the end, they have one big opportunity in counter-attack vertically, where you have that fantastic exterior of the foot of Modric, you have a Camavinga that was running like Rabiot, and you have that fantastic goal of, what's the name there, of Vinicius Junior. They knew that in that moment of the game, they had to defend, they had to pay attention. That doesn't mean parking the bus, it's supporting and giving some support to the team. It's strange that I have to explain that. I understand that sometimes it's difficult to understand and place it. But that's what he's saying. You need to suffer all together in moments where you have to suffer, and you have to play together when you have to play together. This is what Real Madrid did yesterday. Then they did 1-1 against one of the most informed teams of the world, that is Manchester City. Manchester City, that we are saying, but it's City, they never defend and so on. Yesterday in the second half, when in the moment of strength of Real Madrid, they were also humble enough to defend and to pay attention with a lot of players there. And it's really strange because in the two halves, the one that was dominating at that moment, at a certain moment, they concede. But anyway, that's another story. Let's continue because we have 4 minutes of a press conference to go, and then, of course, we will do a maxi debrief. What will be the task of Di Maria tomorrow, on top of scoring, because in Europa League he already scored a few? Max Allegri. Angel Di Maria, he already knows what he has to do tomorrow. Europa League, it's a knockout stage now. We need result. And when we needed result, when we needed important performances, well, he has always been there. He has always shown up this season with Juventus, but also in his entire career. Question from Poland. Speaking a really beautiful Italian, by the way. And they are speaking about the arrival of Milik that arrived in the beginning of the season, that Allegri worked already all season with him. How did he integrate in the team? What are the skills of Milik that you really appreciate? Were you surprised about Milik? And then Max Allegri saying, no, I was not surprised because it's a player that we already knew. Of course, on the human side, he surprised me positively because it's an extraordinary person. He gave a lot to Juve. He will have the opportunity to give even more to Juve and give a lot to Juve in the future. And on this, I'm really happy about what he did. I believe it was a really great signing. Attention, it looks like Allegri knows that we will sign permanently Milik. But he spoke about the human side, which is always nice. Journalist, you spoke about 3 or 4 men defense, but did you already choose which men will go down on the field tomorrow or will play tomorrow? Because you have a lot of choice also in the back. Did you already choose the starting lineup in defense? Max. Attenzione. I didn't choose yet. The only one that is sure that is not playing is Bremer. Because he had a, don't ask me which muscle, but a muscle fatigue. I don't remember which one, but somewhere. It's nothing serious, but he will not be there. So Bremer out of the first semi-final of Europa League. And this is opening a lot of scenario. But all the other ones are doing well. Yesterday it was nice to see the training. We have to play that game with a lot of enthusiasm and also the will to take a fantastic objective that is playing the final. But of course, it's a step by step. Maybe an important question. The journalist is saying, you were at Milan, and you know that they are speaking always about Milan DNA, Champions League, even more Real Madrid in the Champions League competition. But tomorrow you are facing Sevilla, and Sevilla is a bit the king of the Europa League. Is it something that we can explain? You know, that DNA, Europa League, Cup, or Champions League, or is it really, you know, like this, you know, like hazard, like how can I say, you know, casuality? Max Allegri. It's not something that you have to explain. It's something like that. We don't have to forget also that Juve, in the last years, in the last nine years, we played two finals of Champions League. We played a quarter. We were eliminated twice in quarterfinal in injury time, extra time. And this year we are playing a semifinal. So who knows? We can arrive to the final and winning it. But of course, it will absolutely not be an easy game tomorrow against Sevilla. Last question. Max Allegri, not only me, all of us, we want to arrive in the final. In the difficulties of this year, the team behaved really well. Professionally, mentally, morally, and it was absolutely not easy. But we have still 20 days to go that are the most important. This week is really important because we will understand if we will arrive in the final. If we don't arrive in the final, it means that the other were stronger. Regarding Serie A, we still have 4 games to go. We will have to try to keep being second. Okay, it was a long press conference, guys. I had to press pause a lot of time because some things were not really clear for a lot of people. So, Maxi debrief, the biggest one. Of course, the big question that I'm always asking you guys. What is the most important, from what I translated, that you have kept in mind after that press conference? Of course, there is one thing that I keep in mind, of course, that I was not expecting. BT, she knows. And she says, Angel found beautiful words for Juventus and his teammates. Yeah, I agree. Maturity, the way of him answering were really, really great from Angel Di Maria. But really, really great. We'll come back on the words of Angel Di Maria and also some question from the journalist that sincerely I don't understand. But anyway, that's what they did. So BT, Bremer out. That's a big one, huh? This one I was not expecting at all. Yeah. I thought that, because they didn't spoke about it, they just said last minute change in the morning, no Bremer anymore, but they played with Rugani. Well, I could have sense and feel that Bremer was not at 100%, but I was really thinking it was not something serious and more like keeping him resting to be ready for the game of Sevilla. But he will not, He will not. He will not because he has a muscle injury. Small one, it's not something serious, so maybe we can already see him against, I don't even know who we are playing, Cremonese this weekend. Can be, but for Sevilla, it's not there. Now we have the chance that Rugani, in a way he played against Atalanta, that is a strong team, and that he did really well. In terms of confidence, it's a great one. I remember the last time that we played against Inter, that semi-final return game. Well, we played, if I'm not wrong, with Bonucci. Am I right or am I wrong? Let me check the lineups against Inter. Against Inter, we played with Bonucci. We played a really strange lineup against Inter semi-final return game, because we played with Bremer, Bonucci, Alexandro, 3-man defense. It was really strange. It was really, really strange. Then, Bremer didn't play against Bologna. We played with Quadrado, Danilo, Gatti, Alexandro. 4-man defense. Against Lecce, Bremer was playing, so let's forget about him. Atalanta, Danilo, Rugani, Quadrado, Alexandro. I believe we can go again with 4-men in defense. Look, Bologna was Quadrado, Danilo, Gatti, Alexandro. Even if I believe that Rogani deserves to start. After the beautiful game, after the confidence moment, if you are playing 4-man defense, that can become a 3-man defense. I would not hesitate that much. Huh? I would not hesitate that much. What do you think, guys? Wait, let me change something. Wait, I'm just opening something so that we can wait. Come on. Okay. I will go to the tactical lineup so that we can check a bit. Bremer is out, so Perin starts tomorrow. So I think that we will go with this one again. Quadrado, Danilo, Alex. Wait, we will go. It's really difficult, huh? Rugani starts tomorrow. Locatelli, Rabiot, Fagioli. That can be the starting lineup tomorrow, potentially. And Di Maria will play. I'm sure about Di Maria playing. You know, because that lineup can easily, or you play like this, huh? Or you play like this. Yeah. With the Rugani. Where is Rugani? It's this one that becomes a 4-man with Quadrado coming down. That's the only difference. You know? 4-man with Quadrado. 3-man with Quadrado up. But new game, new lineup. If Bremer is not able to do it, look, the other ones are the same. Locatelli, Rabiot, Fagioli, Kostic, Quadrado, Di Maria, Vlahovic, Danilo, Alexandro, Szczesny, they are all the same. It's just Rugani because Bremer is not there. Otherwise, you play with Bremer. You see what I try to explain? Thank you to Hater of Pie. Grande Hater of Pie. Looks like Hater doesn't like pie. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Really appreciate it, my friend. So what else was important in that press conference? First, the words of Angel Di Maria. Angel Di Maria that said 3 times to the journalist, I don't know if I will renew. But it's true that watching his face, he repeated every time that his family is really happy at Juve. He said, Champions League, no Champions League, doesn't matter for me. He didn't say European competition at all, because I was watching one of his interviews to Belgian television, how much he loves to shine in important competitions. So, of course, he will take that into consideration. But the fact that he spoke about the human behavior of people, the professionalism, the people that he met with his teammates, but also the people that were working behind the scene, it's something that was really super, super great, and that he was positively surprised. He said that, of course, about Max Allegri, that he had to adapt to his way of playing, because at Paris Saint-Germain, they had like a 70% ball possession. Guys, I want to remember also to all of you what level Ligue 1 is, and especially the difference, the gap that there is between Paris Saint-Germain and all the other teams. Well, you are playing with 70% ball possession, and it's something that they know that they were playing with, while at Juventus, it's a different way of playing. First of all, because Serie A, it's much more defending, much more tactical, and on top of that, you have a coach as Allegri that is not asking you that the priority is keeping the ball a la Pep Guardiola, for example. So he said, I had to pay attention to that. I had to learn from it. I had to adapt. plus the beginning where I had some injuries, and then I'm happy because even at 35 years, I'm learning new things, and I'm super grateful for that. So these were the words. I believe that he can stay, but I believe also that if you are not anymore in European competition, does it make sense, honestly, for us to keep Angel Di Maria that at a salary that is quite expensive? I would love, in terms of world-class player, but are we 100% confident about his health, about the motivations? Of course, playing once a week, if you are not in European competition, makes that you have less stress on your body. You can give much more, but it's still Serie A, a closed league, a league that is playing more defensively without all the spaces and so on to shine. It's a big question for the future, but I believe that he's open, that Juve is open, that at the moment nothing is closed, and that probably the decision will not really be, yes, if there is a European competition, then I stay or not. It's the human side. I'm happy at Juventus. My family is happy. I already won the Champions League. The one that I didn't win is the Europa League that I want to win this year with Juve, because it's a trophy that I'm missing in my personal collection. But I believe it will also be Juventus knowing if yes or no you are in Champions League, in Europa League, in Conference League. Do you want to keep a world star player that will be 36 and that had some physical problems this season? I think it's a big one. There is A that is doing a beautiful donation. Thank you for the donation. And I will read immediately the message of A that wrote it right after. A saying, "Il leone non perde il sonno per l'opinione di 100 pecore. Forza ed onore a Max Allegri, a Mr. Allegri." It's a quote, it's a saying in Italian that is saying, the lion is not losing the sleep because of the opinion of 100 sheep. Forza and honor to Mr. Allegri. It's a nice message. It's a beautiful message, especially when he's speaking about trying to do abstraction of the out of the field pressure, the insults. Look at the small fights ultimately, but it's actually since last year already, with Fabiana Della Valle, that is writing One Day Yes, Why They Know, a stupid article about him, insinuating things. It started to be really annoying. Today, she's asking to him a football question about will you play with 3 or 4 man defense? That's it. While to Di Maria, she's going back to a question that made totally no sense. Speaking about the beginning of the season, you had difficulties to adapt to a new football, to Serie A, to Juventus as a club because of small injuries, but also because of Max Allegri. And then she said, "Can you tell us the difference with Juventus and Italian football compared to the rest of the things that you know?" She had to put that small sentence of 3-4 words also because of Max Allegri. I think, first of all, it's not respectful. And it's annoying. So, thank you for a donation. Really appreciate it. But it's true, at a certain moment, stop, guys, stop. Maybe, some people will say, but you are overthinking. She's just asking a question. No, she's not just asking a question. She's in a conference room and she had to put that small word to create trouble with him and Max. Maybe they had some words in the beginning of the season. Of course, maybe it can happen that Di Maria is coming to a club like Juventus and Max Allegri is asking him, we are not playing here with 70% ball possession. You need to adapt. to the way of playing football. You can agree, you can disagree. They had some words, of course, it can happen. But we are speaking about August, September, October. In the meanwhile, Di Maria has totally changed in terms of his presence, the way that he's supporting the team, the way that he's playing. I don't understand that question the day before Sevilla that is playing against Juve in our stadium. Why? Why is it necessary? That stupid question. Why? Going back with all things from September, if it's solved, if she's saying now it's solved, why do you need to bring that again up? This is what I don't like. This is what I don't like. The guy is thinking, maybe I want to stay, maybe not. This morning he was saying, when they were speaking about, again, some other journalist, the unity of the team was not united and so on. He said, look, were you there for the first 50 minutes of the training today? Did you see the harmony, the players being united, the players being really a team and having a good vibe, a good feeling? You know, it's pushing where you know it will hurt, and to try and start to create problems. You're an Italian journalist. We are playing against Sevilla. You are working for Gazzetta dello Sport, but your area of competence is Juventus. Should you not maybe today bite your tongue and say, I will stop with controversy today. I will try to help my team because if they win against Sevilla, I have a nice article to speak about tomorrow. And it gives me also the opportunity to even write more about Juventus going into the final in Budapest. No. Creating trouble. With small, these small things that are, not really visible. That's annoying me. Then, all the respect, but if that's how you're using your question of today, in the day before Juve Sevilla, it's annoying me. Anyway, thank you, A. Maybe Gatti starts. Can be, if it's Gatti, we can go, and then if it's Gatti, then it would probably be, guys, I tell you one thing. If it's Gatti, tomorrow, I show you. If it's Gatti, then you see this tomorrow. If it's Gatti, you see this tomorrow. You have two choices. No, Alexandro, I was really thinking that Alexandro would not start tomorrow. I was believing in Danilo, Bremer, and Gatti. I was thinking in Danilo, Bremer, Gatti. Look, it can still be this, But to avoid playing with Alexandra, he was not good. He was really not good. We missed 3. So then we can close. If we have 3 more, we have 25,100. Then we can close. BT, today's training was so much fun. Everybody who writes the team is not united or play against Allegri is just evil. Yeah. Today you just can't. You can't. Create some trouble before. I didn't see any big trouble question for Inter and Milan yesterday. They are playing a really important game. I saw that they were asking about the physical condition of Leao, of course, but I didn't see, this. They are not creating trouble to Inter and Milan. They are proud, they're happy, semi-final of Champions League. 2 persons, Luca Papa, every day is an episode of Bold and the Beautiful in Italy. We love that, We love that. It's just a pity that it's only Juve where they are always trying with this stupid way of of creating controversy where there is no controversy, or there is no controversy anymore. So, of course, tomorrow morning I will go with explaining how the tactics of Sevilla work. It's a team that in defense you can do something in the spaces that they leave and so on, but it will absolutely not be an easy one. I believe that the game will be played here. If Juventus is able to do what we did versus Atalanta, we can do something. Then Max Allegri, I believe he spoke really well today. Again, Bremer is the big one. He didn't answer about Kostic. Can we see tomorrow Ealing Jr. from the start? Could. I don't know the physical condition of Kostic, but surprising with Ealing Jr., it could be tomorrow. Ali Fahad is saying, Ciao Beppe, member for 3 months now and for many more. Ciao Ali, buongiorno, my friend. Who's the ref for tomorrow's game? Well, I have no idea, so let me check and I will tell you. Because, I have never checked the referees before. Except when I'm preparing really a game and I need to prepare myself because I really want to do more a commentary and knowing in knowledge and in deep the things, then I try to study. But except of that, it has never been my my thing to do to check the referee. Look, it's Daniel Siebert, the referee of tomorrow. I have no idea who he is. Honestly, I have no idea. Daniel Siebert. Germany. The face I know, but the name I didn't know. Born in Berlin on the 4th of... by the way, it was his birthday on the 4th of May, 84. Let's see. Daniel Siebert. First official match against Juve was in 2020 in Champions League, and it was a 2-1 victory for Juve against Ferencváros. And then the last one was on the 2nd of the 22nd of February 2022. Unfortunately, it was versus Villarreal. That was the first game of Dusan Vlahovic after a few seconds, 1-1 in the home of Villarreal. These are the stats of the referee. Against Villarreal in their home, was there something strange? I don't remember. The return game was strange with some annoying decisions. The home game, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't really remember. Maybe you remember. You have more of the time. You have a better memory than me. But I don't remember. Hey, David, thank you, my friend. Luca, ciao grande. I don't remember, honestly. Yes, two more. Beppe, who's the ref? I read, but we did everything. I don't know what else I can speak about. Press conference was nice. Of Angel Di Maria, I spoke really well. I really believe that it's important to also speak about. He also spoke about the maturity of some certain players, how important it would be also for him. Maybe there is something we didn't speak about. The importance also of winning that trophy to stop potentially that mental curse about thinking we are doomed in Europa League, in Champions League, in European competition, that we can't win a final. It would mean a lot. It would mean really a lot. Intellectuals, I'm hoping Di Magia will try to hit the ball to someone's arm in the penalty on the way to the goal, so we can play 10 versus 11 another round of this competition. Well, I would love that one also, especially if we are playing in the home of Sevilla for the return game, because usually this season it went a bit like that. We play the first game 11 versus 11, and then the return game we are going with a in their home with a red card in the first half for the other ones. Would be nice, of course. But again, I would love how to was that we are able also to show 25,100, which is really, really beautiful. Thank you, guys. Is Juntoli happening? Are you happy about it? AdRev, happening. Look, certainties, we have zero certainties, but I made a video about this morning, so go watch. But in a recap, what I believe is yeah, if you're looking at all the pages, but I when I really started to believe in it, when Gianluca Di Marzio was speaking about it, because I always said here, I have immense respect for Gianluca Di Marzio. Just the last few years, when he's speaking about Juve, it's not receiving that much real info anymore. But that doesn't change his professionalism and his way of knowing things about football. Why am I believing in Gianluca Di Marzio? Not because of the sources of Juve, but more because of the sources of Napoli, because he's really close. So that's where I started really to believe. Then, if you have Tutto Sport, Gazzetta dello Sport, Corriere dello Sport, that are pushing every day the news of Giuntoli to Juve, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, it starts really to make sense. So then the words of Giuntoli not confirming that it will stay next year, then it can be also a game, but I really believe that it can happen. Am I happy about it? Well, it depends what are the expectations. If we believe that Giuntoli will arrive and with a magic wand he would no. This is not how it works. Sporting director, more than a manager, you need time. You remember the first season of Marotta at Juve, total disaster, a total disaster. Marotta, because they can't have an immediate impact. You just arrive from one season to another. You have to rework everything. Of course, you have already some contacts, but most of the time you were already thinking about your actual team. So, you have to pay attention to not step on the foot of the other ones. Probably there are also agreements when you leave a team and that you still have a contract. Probably they are saying, okay, what were the lists that you were working for Napoli? Okay, for this player, if you want to leave, you have a clause that you can't go for this player for the next 2 years, for example. I'm just inventing. So, and Giuntoli alone can't do anything, but he can start working on a project in thinking long term. And thinking long term, you saw what he was doing with Carpi, bring them from third division for the first time in Serie A. It was a fantastic work. With Napoli, he needed 8 years. At the end, he won with Napoli. I don't believe that now it's really a hot name. It's a trendy name. Guys, if we are honest, we have also to pay attention to the good things and the bad things that he did, like every sporting director, because that makes totally sense. I'm just thinking a bit, thinking out loud. Zielinski, top. Tonelli, flop. Fabian Ruiz, top. Valdifiore, flop. Di Lorenzo, top. Grassi, ex-player, not. Lobotka, top. Diawara, flop. Pavoletti, flop. Osimhen, top. Malquit, remember Malquit, flop. Anguissa, top. Petagna, flop. Kim top. Kvaratskhelia, super top. Tuanzebe, you don't even remember Tuanzebe. Flop. You see, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not working. You need it 8 years. So at Juve, the same thing, Juventus of Marotta 2010 was a disaster, the first year. The second year, we have a new stadium, you have Conte, you have that effect of wanting to go for it, you have that, when everything aligned. But honestly, the players that we signed in 2011, you think they are super? Vucinic has been proven good for that Juve. Amatri, these kind of players, I love them. I will always be grateful for them. But honestly, could have gone really wrong. Eliero Elia. People, they forget. Eliero Elia. There are some players like that. Who was the other one? Also, Ziegler. No. The new Nedved there. I forgot. What's the name? Krasic. Luckily, that year, the stars aligned and we win. And you open a cycle of victory. AJ in the chat is saying, I don't mind flops. AJ. I don't mind flops as long as they have low salaries, unlike Arthur and Ramsey. This morning I was making a list, guys. Watch the video of this morning. I was making a list. You know what will be the first task of him? It will be Alexandro. Renew, not renew. If Bremer continues to annoy us with injuries, well, Alexandro will play. And then we will be obliged to continue with Alexandro. Because I don't know if you watched a bit the management of Alexandro the last games. We are trying not... Anelka, Bentner, the coaches, Gattuso. It can happen, it can flop or not. You know. So, but am I happy? Yeah, because he's a professional, someone that is working really well. But he will arrive at Juve. We don't know if we have Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, or we have no idea. He comes. The first task is the list. Alexandro, renewal, not renewal. Quadrado, Rabiot. Rabiot will be easy. No European competition. Ciao, Rabiot. Szczesny. What do we do with Szczesny? He has still a contract with Juve. He loves Juve, but without European competition. Does he want another challenge? Can he have some calls from Premier League? Without European competition, we promote Perin. Can be. Szczesny will save on his salary. Vlahovic will be a big one to tackle because he has been identified as the center of your project, but the center of project with the 80 million euro striker without European competition, you lose a lot of money that you have to bring in. Paredes, going back. McKennie, Arthur, Zakaria, Kulusevski maybe. All these players return. That will be his first work. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Paredes I don't count because it's already gone. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's already 10 players that you have to fix. Yeah, I believe that Szczesny can go to I'm not sure about Manchester United. You know why? Because he wants to live in London after his career. He wants to settle in London, so I believe it will maybe a first step, an in-between, it could happen. But then, Cambiaso, you keep. Rovella, you keep. Barbieri, you promote. Huijsen, you test. Without competition. Fratesi, it's a bit the summer like in the summer of the return of Allegri. New reality, new difficulties. Post-Ronaldo, because we knew that he would leave, but we were not sure. One signing, permanent, Fratesi. Instead of Fresneda, you go for Mazraoui on loan from Bayern. Instead of Pau Torres, you go for Mattia Vitti. Who is Mattia Vitti? A player from Empoli that has been sold to Nice. 21 years old. Future prospect, maybe. Maybe Huijsen. Scamacca. I never wanted Scamacca, but I'm afraid that him not playing at West Ham, Vlahovic leaving, Scamacca could be potentially the new striker with Milik, with Moiskin. What do you do with Di Maria? You keep him or not? So that's hard. So am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy for one thing. You know what I'm really happy about? Fantastic question from Arif. You know what I'm really happy about? One thing, an important one. I'm happy about the fact that Calvo, the CFO, Chief Football Officer, he said one thing a few weeks ago. With or without European competition, we, as Juventus, we will go and we will continue to work because our objective is there. Well, I would be, in a way, happy that you take a Giuntoli because you are sending a message to the other ones. You can take away the points that you want. You can disqualify us from Champions League, from European competition. We don't care. We continue to build. We continue to build and we take the strongest one that are possible to take. Is it Giuntoli? Then it's Giuntoli. So, no, I don't want Marotta back, guys. I really don't want Marotta back. Never, never, never. Then if he comes, you know how I am. From the moment that people are signing for Juve, I can hate or dislike how much I want. From the moment they are there, I support them. But today I don't want them to. I don't want Marotta to go back. Mikey Mazzarese. Ciao Beppe, been a while. I would like to see us get a good young keeper that we can keep for a long time. I think that position gets overlooked at times. Mikey Mazzarese, 16 months with us. Grande Mikey. But it's not overlooked because we have spoken a lot about goalkeepers. Well, we have been always lucky at Juventus to have the best possible goalkeepers. And I'm speaking about Dino Zoff, about Peruzzi, Tacconi, Gianluigi Buffon, and the longevity about these goalkeepers. We even tried with Van der Sar, that I was a big fan of. He flopped 2 seasons with Ancelotti at Juve. Then we sold him, but he has proven that he was a great goalkeeper. I believe that nobody can doubt the greatness of Van der Sar. He didn't work at Juve. Szczesny, that has been criticized for how much? In how long is he there? 5, 6, 7 seasons now. Has been criticized for, 20 games in 7 seasons? Is a good goalkeeper. Perin was a good backup goalkeeper. He can also, I believe it's the best second goalkeeper of Serie A. Probably even in Europe, you don't have a lot of 1 and 2 of these qualities. So Juventus didn't really need to go for it, especially because you have a Perin that is growing, Szczesny that was earning a lot of money. And when Juventus wanted to go for it, they went for Donnarumma. At the end, I believe having a Donnarumma with a really high salary, I believe we wanted to give him like 8 million euro, 7-8 million euro. With all the financial problem that we already had at the time, would have been a total disaster. Total disaster. Especially if you're not able to sell Szczesny. But yeah, now maybe it's time, if Szczesny is leaving, maybe it's time to find a new young goalkeeper. Who can that be? Vicario is already a bit older, but Carnesecchi is a young one. But Carnesecchi, you don't sign him to become your second goalkeeper. Huh? He's your first goalkeeper. The same for Vicario. Huh? Otherwise, they don't move. Makes sense. Ragazzi, I will leave. I did a press conference, was nice. We speak about Giuntoli. If you didn't yet, please watch the video of this morning because I explained a lot of things and I also showed the potential new Juventus on the field, how it can look like with what kind of player. It's interesting. I'm sure you would love that. Did you comment on Giuntoli compatibility with Allegri? Any guys, what is the compatibility of Giuntoli with Allegri? It's It's BS. It's really BS. It's again a story inflated by journalists. Then that they like or don't like, maybe yes, maybe no. But you remember how many times they spoke honestly about it, publicly about Allegri that close to become the coach of Napoli before going back to Juve. You remember, Real Madrid, there was also Napoli, before, who was the sporting director? Giuntoli. Giuntoli is working for one thing. Giuntoli didn't decide the coach at Napoli. It has always been De Laurentiis that decided. Then he could have given his opinion, of course, but De Laurentiis decided, and then Giuntoli makes the team most appropriate according to his idea and the idea of the coach that is there, they like or not. He was that close to become the coach of Napoli. So what does that even mean? The compatibility with Allegri. If it's Allegri that has a contract until 2025, well, Giuntoli, he will make sure that he is working well with Allegri. That's what I think. I don't believe it's invented. I believe it can be that Allegri prefers Rossi, but it's also human, because Rossi, he knows him because it's the one that launched him his career as a manager. It's also the one that was working with the youth sector 3 years at Juventus in the time, so they have a really great relation. Makes sense, I prefer to go with someone that I know than with someone that I don't know. But Allegri said himself, I'm not the one that is deciding a sporting director. In every normal world, it's not the coach that is deciding who he will work with. It's the opposite around. So it makes... I believe that they are making things bigger than they are. Giuntoli is not looking at Allegri. Giuntoli is looking at a long-term project, not on the first year, but on a 5 years project, and bringing Juve back would be immense. Then Allegri can be there the second years. Allegri will not be there in the future. Allegri can leave immediately. So for me, it's again inflating things that can possibly be there. Arif, the coach will have no say in players in app. At Juventus, honestly, it's true that the coaches were not really involved in the past. And I believe that this is a big mistake. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Why? If you are thinking logically, why? Because a coach can be here now, and we know it after 6 months he can leave. So making a team only with a request of a coach can be a danger, but excluding him makes no sense at all. So I would love always to have, a kind of partnership where the coach is also explaining and asking for, a list of wishes. You make like, a wish list of goalkeepers, A, B, C, a wish list of defenders, A, B, C, D, E. And also, if you take me this midfielder, probably that defender will be great with him in compatibility, with that striker, with different scenarios. And then talking about it, I like these kind of players or not. And then the scout is going towards what he can do with his list of players. Like, these are the scouts. Instead of names, because that's maybe the mistake that a lot of people are doing, is putting names. I would love that one time Juventus is thinking about qualities. And maybe this is a quality of Giuntoli that is thinking about qualities more than names. So if Allegri goes and he says, look, I want, just inventing, Andrea Pirlo, okay? Not as a coach, as a player. Andrea Pirlo. Giuntoli will tell him, you know what? Okay. What are the qualities that you need? Someone that has vision, someone that is able to play with both feet, someone that is able to give defensive support, but also making a transition opening, someone that is able to take some free kicks and able also to take some corner kicks. Doesn't care if he's huge in terms of centimeters or not, because I don't expect from him to go on the ball. I want a player that is able to think, a smart player, someone that has the capacities of a leader. Okay, who do we have? Player, I'm just inventing a name, Kvaratskhelia. Inventing a name, Who's that guy? I don't know him. Yeah, but he has all the qualities that you want. You see the difference in building calciomercato without the names, but this time with qualities. I want fullbacks. I don't know. I'm inventing, huh? I want Grimaldo. No, not Grimaldo. What qualities do you need for the left back? Well, I need a left back that is able to play also on the right side of the field. We don't have a lot. We have this, this, this. I need a left back that is able to go up. Okay, we have this, this, this. You know, it's totally different. Because what did Juventus do at a certain moment? At a certain moment, and I believe that this has been a problem. We were buying names more than qualities. And that's why we have no fullbacks today, yeah? Of course, Anthony. That's why it's important to have a coach in sync with the sporting director. But again, a coach is here for 1 year, 2 years, then he's leaving. Sporting director should be a longer position. Ragazzi, I leave you. Watch the video of this morning. It's an interesting one. Thank you for all the likes. Look, perfect, huh? 25,100 was the objective. Before starting, we are here, so maximum of like, subscribe. Grazie, forza.